Fortified settlements dot the plains, their earthen walls echoing a foreign command. Massive timber palisades enclose communal spaces where elite burials lie beneath mound graves, each accompanied by gold ornaments and horse gear. These sites, spread from present-day Hungary to the lower Danube, reveal a sustained political structure that endured for roughly 250 years, shaping trade routes and local economies across the basin. Chronicles whisper of distant lands, yet no consensus survived the ages. Byzantine writers mention a people called the Avaroi arriving from the east, while later medieval sources link them to the Huns. Modern scholars have proposed origins ranging from the Pontic steppe to Central Asia, but each hypothesis rests on fragmentary textual clues and ambiguous material culture, leaving the true source shrouded in speculation. Scientists extracted DNA from 66 pre-Avar and Avar burials across the basin, sequencing both mitochondrial and nuclear genomes. The sample set includes elite graves with lavish grave goods and ordinary community burials lacking such markers. By comparing these ancient sequences to a global reference panel, researchers could map genetic affinities and trace the flow of ancestry across continents with unprecedented resolution. The elite genomes cluster tightly with ancient steppe peoples from Far East, matching individuals linked to the Rouran Empire in Mongolia. These samples display a high proportion of East Asian ancestry, well above the background of contemporary European populations, indicating that the Avar ruling class arrived as a relatively unmixed group. This genetic signature stands out sharply against the surrounding local gene pool. Non-elite individuals display a blend of indigenous European ancestry and modest steppe input. Their genomes show typical Western European hunter-gatherer and early farmer components, with only a faint trace of the East Asian signal seen in the elite. This pattern suggests that while a small, high-status group migrated long distances, the broader population integrated locally, absorbing newcomers into existing communities. Strongest genetic affinities point to the collapsed Rouran Empire on the Mongolian steppe. Comparative analyses show that the Avar elite share a distinctive East Asian haplogroup pattern that is rare in Europe, but common among late Rouran individuals. This link suggests a direct migratory pulse rather than a gradual diffusion of steppe ancestry. The elite's DNA reveals an almost instantaneous transition from East Asian to Central European genetic contexts. Within a single generation, the signature shifts from a pure Asian profile to a mixed one that still retains a sharp Asian core. Such a rapid turnover is unprecedented in the ancient record and signals a swift, long-distance movement. The 2022 cell study sequenced 66 pre-Avar and Avar period genomes. Results show the ruling class carries a pronounced East Asian component, while the broader population displays a mosaic of local European and Asian ancestry. The authors emphasize that the trans-Eurasian signal is most acute among elite burials, highlighting a socially stratified migration. Archaeological layers grow thin and contemporary chronicles fall silent after roughly 200 years of Avar dominance. The elite burial sites cease, and material culture that once bore unmistakable Asian motifs fades. This abrupt disappearance leaves historians with a puzzling void, prompting questions about assimilation, displacement, or elite extinction. In the winter of 557, the Rouran Khanate collapsed under pressure from emerging powers. Displaced warriors coalesced around a charismatic leader, gathering horses, weapons, and a shared memory of conquest. Their mobile camps spanned the endless grasslands, their armor clanking across the steppe, setting the stage for a westward exodus that would reshape Europe. Within 24 years, the Avar Corps journeyed from the Ordos Desert to the Danube's banks, covering roughly 5,000 miles. Their wagons traced a corridor through the Altai, across the Eurasian steppe, and over the Carpathian passes. Along this route, they left a trail of artifacts, metalwork, horse gear, and burial customs that archaeologists can still map across the continent. When researchers extracted ancient DNA from elite Avar burials in present-day Hungary, they found an East Asian component identical to that seen in late rouran individuals. This signature persisted across several generations, confirming that the ruling class retained its Asian ancestry long after settling in Europe, even as the surrounding populace became increasingly mixed. Genome analysis of Avar burials shows that ordinary people in the Carpathian Basin carried mainly European hunter-gatherer and early farmer ancestry, while the ruling class remained genetically distinct. The elite genomes cluster tightly, revealing a closed marriage network that preserved Asian lineages for 2.5 centuries. This sharp contrast highlights a socially stratified population. By 600, the Avar Cognate pressed up against the Byzantine frontier, forging a tense partnership. Diplomatic letters and tribute lists record the Avars providing elite cavalry in exchange for gold and prestige, while battlefield scars attest to occasional clashes. The relationship balanced cooperation with rivalry, shaping the political landscape of early medieval Europe. Archaeologists have uncovered bronze stirrups, iron sabers, and ornate plates in elite Avar graves that match styles documented in Central Asian steppe burials. These objects are scarce in ordinary local settlements, indicating that such material culture traveled with the ruling class rather than diffusing widely. The finds provide a tangible link between the Carpathian elite and their Asian origins. Genome-wide surveys of ordinary Avar period individuals reveal a stable European gene pool rooted in Neolithic farmers and Iron Age steppe herders. The continuity of these ancestries suggests that Avar rule was a political overlay rather than a mass replacement of the local populace, with the majority of people maintaining their long-standing genetic heritage. The Avar Cognate controlled vital mountain passes that connected the Eurasian interior to the Mediterranean world. Their dominance facilitated the flow of silk, salt, and prized horses, turning the Carpathian Basin into a bustling hub where merchants from the Abbasid Caliphate met Frankish traders. This network amplified the region's economic importance in the 7th century. The most lavish Avar graves contain gold plates, garnet inlays, and imported glass vessels. Chemical fingerprinting ties the gold to Central Asian sources, while the garnets match deposits in the Volga region. These materials illustrate a far-reaching exchange network that supplied the elite with prestige goods, reinforcing their status across the basin. Avar metalwork displays a blend of traditional steppe animal motifs and emerging Christian symbols, reflecting a syncretic culture. This artistic hybridization shows how the elite adopted local religious imagery while retaining nomadic aesthetic roots, signaling a negotiated identity rather than outright cultural domination. The Avars introduced heavily armored cavalry equipped with composite bows, giving them a decisive edge over infantry-based European forces. Contemporary chronicles describe swift Avar charges that broke enemy lines, compelling local rulers to reform their own armies. This military innovation reshaped battlefield tactics throughout the region. Burials from the later Avar period, those dated after 800 AD, no longer contain the East Asian genetic signature that defined the early elite. This loss of the distinctive DNA component suggests that the ruling class either blended into the surrounding population, was replaced by new leaders, or simply lost the prestige that kept their burial customs unique. By 900 AD, the Frankish kingdom under Charles the Great launched a series of campaigns that razed Avar fortresses, seized tribute, and forced the remaining elite into exile. The sudden collapse of military power and the loss of an economic base accelerated the disappearance of the Avars' distinct cultural markers, hastening the end of their cognate. A handful of Hungarian place names and a small set of loanwords can be traced back to Turkic roots associated with the Avars. While scholars continue to debate how extensive this linguistic residue is, these remnants indicate that, even after the political entity vanished, subtle traces of Avar language persisted in everyday speech across the region. Modern population genetic surveys of Hungarians have identified low-frequency East Asian haplotypes that match those found in the elite Avar genomes. Although these markers are rare, their presence demonstrates a lingering genetic legacy that survived centuries of admixture, linking present-day people to the distant steppe migrants. Researchers extracted tiny cores from the petrous portion of the inner ear, a bone dense enough to preserve DNA over millennia. After rigorous decontamination, they employed next-generation sequencing, aligning the short fragments against reference genomes. This approach allowed them to reconstruct the ancestry of individual Avar remains with unprecedented accuracy. The Avar example overturns the idea that large-scale migrations necessarily unfolded over many centuries. Their coordinated movement across roughly 5,000 miles in a single generation shows that steppe societies could mobilize massive populations quickly, forcing scholars to revise models of early medieval demographic change and the mechanisms behind rapid cultural diffusion. When the Avar ruling class disappeared, several possibilities emerged. They may have merged with emerging Slavic groups, been absorbed by the later Magyar tribes, or simply abandoned the burial practices that made them archaeologically visible. Ongoing excavations and expanded genomic sampling aim to resolve these lingering questions about the fate of the elite. Today, modern Hungarians carry faint traces of that swift, far-reaching journey in their DNA. These subtle genetic echoes serve as a living reminder of a once powerful empire that vanished from the historical record, but left an indelible mark on the genetic landscape of Central Europe.